sweet home. How's everybody doing today? Awesome. I heard a whole whopping 16 of you. Let me try that again. How's everybody doing today? Cool, cool. So let's get right into it and have a little bit of fun. Today, we're going to talk about 10 keys. 10 keys to success inside of your Jeunesse business. 10 keys. Now, the last time I checked, when you have keys, they tend to unlock doors. And the doors that you can unlock inside of your Jeunesse business can be powerful if you follow these 10 keys. Now, also I've learned that the most powerful things in life and most times are the most simplest things in life. You know, we tend to go out and complicate things that aren't really truly that complicated, and you'll find that out here as we go through this specific training. So let's see if we've got some slides up. Cool. So key number one, one of the things that you have to do to have a successful Jeunesse business is discipline your disciplines. See, if you look really closely at that image, you'll see a dumbbell in the background. And that's exactly what it is, a dumbbell. You see, if you go to the gym, you see a lot of dumbbells. You see a lot of equipment. And the equipment means nothing if you don't utilize it. See, that dumbbell just sits there and it doesn't talk to you. It doesn't tell you, hey, if you do 20 reps, you're going to see this. If you do 30 reps, you're going to see this. You, as that human, you've got to discipline your disciplines. Now, what are some key disciplines inside of our business? Well, we only get paid for 3 things inside of Jeunesse. Everybody say 3. But sometimes you catch yourself doing 72 things. This is what I mean by disciplining your disciplines. Number 1, you get paid to gather customers. Number 2, you get paid to sponsor new distributors. And number 3, you get paid to teach those new distributors how to gather more customers and sponsor new distributors. Everything else you're doing is community service. So when we start talking about disciplining your disciplines, are you catching yourself doing busy work? Oh, Cedrick, my computer is dirty. I need to adjust the flowers in my office. There's so many things I need to do throughout the day that are a complete waste of time instead of disciplining your disciplines. So if you look at my body, you can tell that I don't spend all that much time in the gym. If I did, you would probably notice. The people that do, you actually notice, because it's a certain what? Discipline that you have to do every single day. Cedrick, I got to gather new customers every day. Every day. Cedrick, I need to talk to new people every day. Every day. Cedrick, I need to teach my new distributors to gather new customers and new distributors every day. Every day. Didn't you say you wanted to be a triple galactic diamond? What you got to do triple galactic stuff. You want to be excellent, but you want to do basic stuff. Doesn't work that way. Doesn't work that way. Number 2, you have to learn to develop your speed. You know, I was looking at Talladega Nights the other day. And I'm looking at the movie Talladega Nights, and they put Ricky Bobby in the car with the cougar. And his dad said, you got to learn to drive with the fear. And he said, with a cougar in the car? With a cougar in the car. And he's driving, and all of a sudden, he notices that he's going fast. And he says, oh, I'm going fast again. He started to understand the speed. See, some of you have gotten this business confused a little bit, so let me help you out. If you want to really move fast inside of your Jeunesse business, you've got to stop treating it like a hobby. You got to stop treating it like a hobby. My favorite hobby is fishing. Even if I utilize artificial bait, it costs money because time is money. Every hobby is going to cost something. So are you treating your business like a hobby? Or are you treating it like a part-time business or a full-time business? Now, there's a couple of you that think that you're a full-time, but you're not doing full-time work because you forgot to develop your speed. It's almost like you're in a stick-shift car and you've got it stuck in neutral. And you forgot that money follows what? Speed. It doesn't follow procrastination. See, some of you are staying at this hotel right now, and you got to understand something. There's somebody cleaning your room, is it not? Is your speed as of which someone that's actually prospecting the person that's cleaning your room? Is your speed as of someone that's prospecting different people in Orlando right now when you leave? Is your speed of someone who's talking to the Uber driver that you already know that's an entrepreneur that dropped you off here? Is that your speed, or do you have hobby speed? You either have hobby speed, part-time speed, or full-time speed. There is nothing else. Now, how do you know what your speed looks like? Really simple. Look yourself in the mirror. The speed of the pack is determined by the speed of the leader. So stop asking your team to do something that you're not doing yourself. Stop asking your team to move at a pace that you're not moving yourself. You want to know, oh my goodness, I want a fast-moving team, then you should be a fast-moving leader. You got to be a fast-moving leader. Now, one of the ways you become a fast-moving leader is that if you tend to wake up every day and act as if you don't have a team. Some of you have turned into McDonald's managers. Now I want to manage my group of 8 people, my group of 13 people. That's not how it works. Wake up every day and act as if you do not have a team, and watch how your speed moves. Third thing is that you've got to become a testimony. How many of you in the room agree that we have amazing products here, Janess? So if you know we have amazing products at Janess, then you need to become a testimony. How is it that you have Luminescent and you're still using baby lotion? How is it that you have Nevo and you're still drinking Gatorade? Nobody in this room should have white water anymore. Nobody. Nobody. Now, some of y'all are like, well, said I don't use Luminescent because I'm already pretty. Well, you might know somebody who isn't. Well, Cedrick, I don't need to use Zen Body because I'm already sexy. Well, you might know somebody who isn't. See, you can't say I don't know anybody who drinks water. What's your excuse now? You can't say you don't know anybody who has a mind. You can't say you don't know anybody who has a throat. So you've got to become a testimony. You got to be a walking, talking testimony. So in your refrigerator, it should reflect Janess. In your cabinets in your bathroom, it should reflect Janess. There should never be anyone staying at your home in a guest room and they don't see Janess products. Never. Did I say never? Never. Never. If you've got shampoo in your guest room right now, when you get home, I want you to throw it away. Throw it away and replace it with Reveal. So then your guests are forced to ask you, well, what's that? So funny you ask. So funny you ask. Get rid of the Gatorade and the Sobe and the Coca-Cola and replace it with Nevo. Well, what's that? So funny you ask. But you've got to become a walking, talking what? Testimony. You've got to become a walking, talking testimony. Listen, I didn't grow up on Luminescent, neither did any of you. I grew up on Baby Lotion and Suave. Some of y'all don't know what that is. That's a little deep south thing right there. Y'all will figure it out later. Now we're on what? Luminescent, because we are products of the what? Product. You got to be a product of the product because you need to be able to share your very own testimony. Next thing that you've got to do is focus on what you can control. So in the Boy Scouts, they teach you that if you take a magnifying glass and you hold the magnifying glass still and you let the sun hit the magnifying glass, and you have dry leaves under that magnifying glass, and you just hold it, and you hold it, and you hold it, and you hold it, and you don't move. And you hold it because all you can control is whether or not you're moving or not. And you hold it, and you hold it, and it might be a minute, it might be 3 minutes, it might be 5 minutes, it might be 10 minutes, and you just hold it. And you hold it, and you hold it, and all of a sudden you see a spark under the leaves. And you don't move, you just hold it. And you see another spark, and you don't move, and you just hold it. And you see more sparks, and all of a sudden, you see some flames. And then you blow it. Then you blow it again. Then you turn your back for 2 or 3 minutes, and you set the whole doggone woods on fire. You know why? Because you were focused. Some of you keep worrying about things that you can't control. Well, who's above me? You can't control that. Why do you care? Why do you care? You can't control that. You worried about one leg, orthopedic leg, leg with no kneecap, leg with no ankles. Said, well, what about, you can't control certain, focus on what you can control. The more you spend time on trying to focus on things that you cannot control, you're taking away from time from things that you can. So can you control your own recruiting? Yes. Can you control your own customer acquisition? Yes. Can you control the amount of presentations that you're doing? Yes. Can you force people to do something? No. Everyone on your team joined a volunteer army. They were not drafted. They joined a volunteer army. So you can suggest things, but you can't force it. And the best way to do it is by lead by example. This one right here is one that we forget too many times. And that's because we forget how human nature is. Ladies and gentlemen, you got to understand that all network marketing is personal development with the product attached to it. That's it. That's all it is. Why are you trying to complicate this? Why? You got to celebrate every single win on your team. People love to feel what? Appreciated. People love to feel appreciated. If you don't show appreciation, someone else will. Let me say that in the back for the people that really didn't get it. If you don't show appreciation, someone else will. But you've got to appreciate every little win. Why are you just appreciating when they rank advance? You got to celebrate it when they did their first three-way call. You got to celebrate it when they got their first customer. You got to celebrate it when they did their first presentation. You got to celebrate it when they first got in front of the room for the very first time. Do you realize that public speaking is the #1 fear on the planet? People would rather die than deliver a funeral at deliver a eulogy at their friend's funeral. You want me to talk to people? Screw it, I'd rather be dead. So if you know that somebody is in front of the room for the very first time, celebrate that. Celebrate every win, because the more you celebrate, the more people are going to do more for what? For more celebration. And then what's going to happen is going to bleed down throughout your team. That now all of a sudden you've got all this celebration going on, and it's a beautiful thing. It's one big, gigantic party. Next thing that you got to do is become the best version of yourself. And you've got to do personal development every day. Did he say every day? Every day. Cedrick, no, not every day. If you cut on the automatic income reducer every single day, why can't you do personal development every day? Why can't you read a chapter out of a book every day? Why can't you listen to something on Audible every single day? You're listening to songs. Do you realize that if you hear a song on the radio that you don't even like over and over and over and over and over again, that over time the song is embedded into your subconscious mind, and now you can recite the song that you don't even like? Have you ever noticed that? I never wanted to take my horse to the Old Town Road. But the more I kept hearing it, the more I was like, this song is locked in my brain. I might ride off this stage here in a second. But that was something that was what? Repetition over and over and over and over and over. So when you think about personal development, what are you reading every day? What are you looking at every day? You looking at gossip, or you working on becoming the best version of you? Because see, before you can become a diamond on paper, you need to become a diamond in your mind. Now, how do you become a diamond? Well, first of all, a diamond starts off as a piece of coal. Did you know? And what happens to that piece of coal? It just keeps getting beat and beat and beat and beat. Let me know when you get the hang of it. And beat and beat and beat and beat. But Cedrick, I want to become a diamond. And beat and beat. Bend over. You said you want to become a diamond. And beat and beat and beat and beat and beat. Oh, you want a diamond the size of J-Lo's diamond. Ooh, beating, 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 beating. That takes a lot of personal development. That takes a lot of personal development. So you've got to go through that what? Every single day. Next thing that you got to do is know your ratios. You cannot track what you cannot measure. You cannot track what you cannot measure. If you're full-time in this business and I walk up to you right now and say, hey, how many presentations did you do last week? And you can't recite it just that quick, you're not full-time. You can't track what you cannot measure. You see, Jim Rohn said it the best years ago. Jim Rohn was in a particular company, I won't say the name, but Jim Rohn used to go to people and say, hey, I'm involved in XYZ company, and all I know is when I show 10 people, 4 of them get in. I don't care if you're one of the 4 or if you're one of the 6. I just want you to see it. Now, how could he say that? Because he knew his ratios were 40%. For every 10 people he talked to, 4 out of 10 of them got into the business. So he could measure that. So you say, hey, I want to make X amount of dollars a week. How many presentations does it take you to sign up X amount of customers? How many presentations does it take you to sign up X amount of distributors? Do you know your ratio? You are the CEO of your own multi-million-dollar business. Are you tracking it, or are you just doing it by happenstance? It's going to all work out. I'm just Cedrick. It just all figures out itself. You know what I mean? It's okay. You know, I put one on the left and one on the right. You know, I get Kevin Jagir on my left. I get Stephanie Nichols on my right. I'm home free. I'm good. Sounds good. I mean, it sounds good. But you've got to have your ratios intact. Next thing is, oh boy, I needed a whole 45 minutes on this one. You've got to stay uncomfortable. Now, listen, this stage is a comfort zone, right? I was at a speaking engagement a month ago, and I fell off the stage. It was crazy. It was cool. Everybody felt sorry for me, and they bought all my stuff. But I fell off a stage, right? Now, why do I bring it up? Because that is the uncomfortable zone. Now, based upon me falling off the stage, if I knew that I was going to get the results that I got, I would fall off of every single stage that I've ever spoken on from this point forward. That's me staying what? Uncomfortable. The money is not inside of your comfort zone. Success is not inside of your comfort zone. You becoming a diamond is not inside of your comfort zone. You saying you want to be like Teresa Gregory when you grow up is not inside of your comfort zone. You saying, hey, I want to make the money that Kim Wee makes. That is not inside of your comfort zone. Pronouncing Jason Karamanis' last name might not be inside of your comfort zone. You've got to step outside of your comfort zone to find success, ladies and gentlemen. So I want you to think about all the things that you've done up until this point right now in life. You got there based upon a certain comfort level. If you're happy with that, more power to you. But if you're not sitting in one of these front rows, and you say, I want to sit in the front row, I want to be special, I want to go behind stage without anybody saying anything, I want to just grab a bottle of water, I don't want anybody to be punching my doggone name tag, I want to feel a certain way. Well, you got to get uncomfortable. So what are those things that you're doing right now that are so comfortable that you're like, well, I don't want to talk to this new person, I don't want to do this, everything that you think that you don't want to do, you got to do if you want to get somewhere in life. Next thing is, before we wrap this up, is you got to gather and nurture customers. Ladies and gentlemen, this is a customer acquisition business. You're going to sponsor new distributors, and you're going to gather new customers. One of the best things that you can do inside of Jeunesse is retail to recruit. One of my favorite cookies is Otis Spunkmeyer cookies. I don't know. I think they put crack in those cookies. They're so doggone good. Now, I want you to think about how Otis Spunkmeyer got started. Otis Spunkmeyer got started by standing in front of grocery stores and giving away cookies. So people like Kevin Jagir would come up and grab a cookie and say, damn, this is good. and look back and say, hey, where those cookies at on aisle 3? And Kevin Jagir would go and buy like 72 boxes because the cookies were that good. Now, what did they do? They gave you cookies what? First. You heard Stephanie and Jason tell you why it's important to get kits. And some of you are procrastinating, pacificating, and meditating. For my English majors, just bear with me. But the reality is this. How can you give away something that you don't have? You can't. You can't. So if you want to be able to gather more customers, give some product away, get them hooked in, so then you can retail to recruit. You might do one eye of instantly ageless and say, hey, you want me to do the other eye, or do you want to walk around like Slick Rick all day? Which one? I mean, make your mind up. You got to retail to recruit. And last but not least, I call this the note, because I've got to get off this stage here in a moment. This note can change your life. And if you're serious, you're going to write what I'm going to say down. This note will change your life. I want you to take a little note, and I want you to put it on the end of your bed. I want you to put it on your nightstand so you can read it every night before you go to bed and every day when you wake it up. And the note simply says, what would my organization look like if they did what I did today? What would my organization look like if they did what I did today? So if you sat around all day and did nothing and you got 50 people on your team, what would it look like if all 50 of them did nothing? If you did three-ways a day and you got 50 people on your team, what would it look like if 50 people did three-ways, 153 ways? If you did 3 presentations a day and you've got 50 people on your team, what would it look like if all 50 of them did what you did today? 150 presentations. Now, there's a couple of pessimists in the crowd that are going to say, well, Cedrick, everybody isn't going to do what I do. Okay. Here's the reality, though. What if they did? What if they did? And if you're proud of your production, what if it duplicated? But if you don't like your production, what if that also duplicated? See, you've got to look at this for what it is, ladies and gentlemen. If we treat our business like a business, the way it's supposed to be treated, magical things can happen. If you don't treat it that way, there's also some magical things that happen. It's called you not getting paid. I mean, if David Copperfield can make the Statue of Liberty disappear, he can make your check disappear. You thought that was an illusion. That was real. You should take some mind. You'll see the actual deal happen. But you got to know how powerful this sticky note can be. You've got to know how powerful your speed can be. You've got to know how powerful customer acquisition can be. You've got to understand how powerful disciplining your disciplines can be. You've got to understand how powerful it could be if you start to move at a pace that people see. Because last time I checked, nobody wants to follow anybody moving super slow. It's 2020 in the next couple of months. Some of us didn't even think we would ever see 2020. And you're moving at a certain speed that can either propel you into 2020 or detract you, and you are scared of 2020. We want everybody in this room to be ready for an explosion inside of their business. And if you pay attention to this correctly and you follow these 10 keys, I promise you there will be some doors unlocking that you never saw before. Thanks, Janess. Yeah,